In West Palm Beach, Florida, President Donald Trump announced that he had ordered a series of airstrikes on areas in Yemen controlled by the Houthis. He promised to use overwhelming lethal force until the Iranian-backed Houthi rebels ceased their attacks on shipping along a vital maritime corridor. The Houthis reported that 13 civilians were killed in the capital, Sana'a. President Trump stated, "Our brave warfighters are currently carrying out aerial attacks on the terrorist bases, leaders, and missile defenses to protect American shipping, air, and naval assets, and to restore navigational freedom. No terrorist force will stop American commercial and naval vessels from freely sailing the waterways of the world." He also warned Iran to stop supporting the rebel group, promising to hold the country fully accountable for the actions of its proxy. This comes 2 weeks after the U.S. leader sent a letter to Iranian leaders, offering a path to restarting bilateral talks between the countries on Iran's advancing nuclear weapons program. Trump has made it clear he will not allow it to become operational. The Houthis reported explosions in their territory on Saturday evening in Sana'a and the northern province of Sada, which is the rebels' stronghold on the border with Saudi Arabia. Images online showed plumes of black smoke over the area of the Sana'a airport complex, which includes a sprawling military facility. Anis al-Asbahi, spokesman for the Houthi-run health ministry, stated that at least 13 people were killed and another 9 were wounded. A U.S. official mentioned that this was just the beginning of airstrikes on Houthi targets that are expected to continue. The officials spoke anonymously as they were not authorized to talk to the press. Nasruddin Amer, deputy head of the Houthi media office, said that the airstrikes would not deter them and they would retaliate against the U.S. He added on social media that Sana'a will remain Gaza's shield and support and will not abandon it no matter the challenges. Another spokesman, Mohammed Abdul Salam, called Trump's claims that the Houthis threaten international shipping routes false and misleading. The airstrikes occurred a few days after the Houthis announced they would resume attacks on Israeli vessels sailing off Yemen in response to Israel's latest blockade on Gaza. They described their warning as affecting the Red Sea, the Gulf of Aden, the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, and the Arabian Sea. There have been no Houthi attacks reported since then. Earlier this month, Israel halted all aid coming into Gaza and warned of additional consequences for Hamas if their fragile ceasefire in the war isn't extended as negotiations continue over starting a second phase. The Houthis had targeted over 100 merchant vessels with missiles and drones, sinking 2 vessels and killing 4 sailors during their campaign targeting military and civilian ships between the start of the war between Israel and Hamas in late 2023 and January of this year when this ceasefire in Gaza took effect. The attacks raised the Houthis' profile as they faced economic and other problems at home amid Yemen's decade-long stalemated war that has torn apart the Arab world's poorest nation. The Houthi media office reported that U.S. strikes hit a residential neighborhood in Sana'a's northern district of Schwab. Residents said at least 4 airstrikes rocked the eastern Jeref neighborhood there, terrifying women and children. "The explosions were very strong," said Abdallah al-Alfi. "It was like an earthquake." The eastern Jeref is home to Houthi-held military facilities and a headquarters for the rebels' political bureau, located in a densely populated area. The Houthis reported fresh strikes on the southwestern Damar province late Saturday. They said the strikes hit the outskirts of the provincial capital, also named Damar, and the district of Abs. The United States, Israel, and Britain have previously hit Houthi-held areas in Yemen. Israel's military declined to comment. However, Saturday's operation was conducted solely by the U.S., according to a U.S. official. It was the first strike on the Yemen-based Houthis under President Trump's second administration. Such broad-based missile strikes against the Houthis were carried out multiple times by President Joe Biden's administration in response to frequent attacks by the Houthis against commercial and military vessels in the region. The USS Harry S. Truman Carrier Strike Group, which includes the carrier, 3 Navy destroyers, and 1 cruiser, are in the Red Sea and were part of Saturday's mission. The USS Georgia cruise missile submarine has also been operating in the region. President Trump announced the strikes while spending his day at his Trump International Golf Club in West Palm Beach, Florida. He remarked that these relentless assaults have cost the U.S. and world economy many billions of dollars while at the same time putting innocent lives at risk.